Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sabbath. Is that still a thing? Sabbath with religion and stuff? I don't know. I don't follow that stuff. Anyways, um, as per the Saturday routine, we only got to watch a bit of the game last night because we had theater tickets again. But I followed along on my phone at intermission and stuff, and we got to watch most of the third period, I guess, when we got home. And the Leafs seem to have put in a better effort last night. They were in Philadelphia to take on the Flyers, the first time those two teams had met this season. And the first period looks like they dominated. They grossly outshot the Flyers. They came out flying. They traded goals, unfortunately. Kapanen had a nice little partial breakaway goal to open the scoring, and then Philly would strike back with one of their own later on a power play. And it was just like a hit one Leaf, then hit another Leaf, then bounce past Fred, who was diving to stop it. It was just one of those bad luck goals that, you don't even just shrug it off and continue on. They didn't deserve that goal. It shouldn't have happened, but that's hockey for you, right? So the first closeout, a 1-1 tie, they were the better team by far. Second period was kind of the opposite. Philadelphia took over, had the much better period. And again, the teams traded goals. Spezza got his first as a Leaf on kind of him and Mikheyev were scrambling around in the crease with a puck that was bouncing around a bit, and Spezza finally put it in. And then in the third period, the teams would trade goals yet again. Marner got one on a wraparound attempt, and that was the Leafs scoring. So they went to overtime tied at 3. Kapanen took a penalty early in the overtime frame, so it was mostly Flyers for the most part. They had, I think it was 7 shots to nothing at one point because of the power play. But as the time went down and the power play expired, the team started taking these crazy chances back and forth, and the goalies were really good. And fittingly enough, neither of them could be beat, and it went to a shootout. And again, fittingly enough, with how close the game was, the shootout went 11 rounds. So a couple guys would score along the way. And it's funny, me and my son James were sitting there watching the game, and he was like, well, who do you think they should send out? And I kept saying they should send out Janssen. And he kept saying they should send out Spezza. And those two didn't get sent out for a while, but eventually they came out. Philadelphia shot first, and they scored, I don't know, maybe in the 7th round. And then Spezza was the next Leafs shooter, and he scored to preserve the shootout and keep it going. And then finally in the 11th round, Fred stopped the Philadelphia chance, and then Janssen came out and buried one, and we were both right in our predictions on who would score, which was kind of funny, I thought. But I noticed in the shootout there was a lot of slow. It was like every guy kind of went in slow, like, and the goalies were just like, okay, I'll just stick with it because you're not making me move, and that's the one thing I noticed about Janssen when he finished it off. He just came flying in, which I think Elliott was not expecting after every Leaf shooter just kind of moseyed in, right? So, and a lot of them seemed to be going 5-hole on both goalies too. It was almost like it was becoming too predictable. Yeah, so eventually though, the Leafs, Janssen got the shootout winner. The Leafs got 2 points, and they got back in the win column after kind of being, like I said before, they've been kind of messy. And which is funny because I think they have a better team than they had last year, but I don't know, maybe still getting used to the new guys and fitting everybody into the new system and stuff. I don't know what it is, but I'm just glad to see them get this win and maybe start a new role. I forgot to mention last game that Dermott was back on D, or maybe I mentioned it, I don't remember. But he's been back after a long injury for the last couple games now, and he's looked really good. He's just, I consider him the Leafs' best all-around defenseman in terms of every aspect of being a D-man. He's good offensively. He's good defensively. He's not shy of contact. I really like Dermott, and he's been really a stabilizing influence on that back end, I thought. And Muzzin went down with injury last game, and now he's off for personal reasons, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. So it's even more important that he's back, right? So that's been nice. And hopefully Muzzin will get back soon, though, and they can finally have their full D playing and logging the minutes and getting good. So, yeah, and other than that, a lot of the new guys, Kerfoot's been really good. CC, I think, has been really good. Barry's been good. Like, the Leafs are all having pretty decent. Like, it's funny that they're losing so many games because there isn't any one guy I can say who's been terrible all this start of the season. They've been inconsistent off and on, some guys, but it's just a weird. This is like a weird start to the season. I can't really explain it. I'm just hoping that the ship is gonna right itself once the guys get going, and they'll be good to go. So one other thing last night is they took way more penalties than the Flyers again. So again, that issue is something that's troubling them after not taking many penalties. Finally, the game before that, they took a bunch again last night. So they just need to start not using their sticks. That's all I ask. Just please don't put your stick on, guys. It's such a waste of a penalty. But other than that, can't complain much about last night's effort, and we'll see what the week ahead brings. Have a great Sunday.